Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Friday night racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway at the Midwest Motorsports Truck Series. This is Michael Harris Jr. I'm filling in for James J. here on our Friday night broadcast. Keep James J. in your thoughts, everybody, as he's on a medical leave. Tonight, the boys are going to be battling it out for 200 laps at Charlotte's historic 1.5 mile oval. Everybody's going to have a couple sets in the pits. We've got 4 sets of tires waiting for them as we do our Patriotic 300. On pole today, we have Jason Phillips with Dustin Reinsettle on the outside here as the cars get on the back straightaway. We'll go ahead and pull up the grid here real quick so we can see the starting order. Charles Smith will be in 3rd place with Riley Harris finishing out row 2. Row 3 in 5th, Eric Thaler with George Harris Jr. In 6th. Travis Jones starts 7th, Marco Lavery in 8th, Norm Snyder 9th, Robert Lavery in 10th, James Olaveson 11th, Robert Olaveson 12th. Then we have Michael Samia, Tyler Short, Chris Thaler, Ron Schamer, and Marco Lavery rounding out our field. As we get ready to go, Jason Phillips will be waiting for that green flag. And there we go. Off to the races goes our entire field here. Jason Phillips will lead the way. Single file for the first 2 cars. Everybody else looks like doubling up. A couple spots where there's a bit of space here. Dustin Reinsettle chasing after Jason Huffman down the back straightaway as behind them Riley Harris and Charles Smith are still side by side. Going into turns 3 and 4. Front 4 have single filed as we got a car on the high side. Making some big moves there coming by Eric Thaler. That is George Harris. Back here in the 87. Ooh, something happened there. They're 3 wide going down the back straightaway. Charles Smith dropping like a rock. Must have hit the wall there in the back straight. He continues to drop. Several cars hit it. Travis Jones holding on in the front straightaway as he hits the wall in the dog leg. Everybody single file. A little bit of crazy action here. A lot of shuffling around going on. Michael Samia on the inside here of Travis Jones. Jason Phillips is off to a commanding lead in that number 88 machine. Where we're keeping an eye on a lot of different things going on here as we continue to battle. Travis Jones goes to the inside of Eric Thaler. Down the front straightaway we have 3 cars, or 3 groups side by side. Eric's going to back out here going into the turn. Travis going to take the spot away. Currently sitting in 5th place. Riley Harris backs off from George Harris. Father and son action right there. Charles Smith fighting back, making the move forward. Michael Samia now on the inside of Eric Thaler. Norm Snyder now getting involved here as well. And then on top of that, his father, Chris Thaler, that's Eric's father, the godfather and grandfather of Midwest Motorsports, getting involved in this battle here for 6th place. It's a 4-way battle for 6th place. Jason Phillips still leading by 3/10 of a second. Exciting battles already continuing here as we're on lap 6 completed. Or, sorry, 5 laps completed. We're all working on lap 6 now. Action all throughout the racetrack here. Not a single spot without anything going on. We got this group right in front of everybody else here. We're just following Travis Jones, Charles Smith, and George Harris battling it out, duking it out, switching spots. But that pack with Chris, Eric, and Norm Snyder, along with Michael Samia, and now we've got James Leveson in the mix as well, and that number 90. A lot of battling going on here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 16 trucks on the track tonight. Big field here for the Patriotic 300, 200 laps around. We saw the Stock Car Series go around this track for 400 laps. We did call that race the 300, but that's okay. I'm going to call it the 500, or the 600 actually. But at any rate, Norm Snyder going way down, moves back up the track. James Leveson getting around Chris Thaler, now getting ready to challenge Eric Thaler. That will be for 7th place here. One of the key factors with 4 tires, you could pretty much make it through the entire race, just changing tires each stop. By the way, this battle is getting even more heated for 7th place, as now Tyler Short and Robert Leveson are getting themselves involved in this group as well, as they've caught up. So we've got a lot of cars pretty close to each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, all within 0.2 of a second of each other, battling it out for position. Travis Jones setting the fastest lap of the race at 30.67 or 30.307. He is currently sitting in 3rd place. There's definitely a lot of action here in the middle as we're getting it through lap 10 or into lap 10. And these guys are just battling it out. James, got you in my mind right now here. I hope you get a chance to watch this, man. This is exciting. This is fun. I know it's been fun to be a part of all this right now on the track, but being from your vantage point, this is just great stuff here. Everybody's duking it out. We've got a lot of stuff going on. And yes, I know the camera's not changing a whole lot of positions here, but just look at the battles. Riding along here with Robert Leveson, who's backed off a little bit. Ron Schaumer in his Sunoco number 97 is getting himself back up to the group. So tires are not as much of a concern here at Charlotte Motor Speedway when you know you're going to take them every pit stop basically until the end. But I will say that the more knowledgeable guys like Dustin and Jason Phillips and Michael Samia, they're not going to be burning those rubbers heavy early on. It's amazing that they can set the paces that they do and still have tires to run very well at the end. Eric Thaler definitely doing a bit of that strategy as well with his tires, saving them early. That's why he dropped back a little bit. And he'll make a push towards the end, and I guarantee at the end of the race he's going to be making a bigger push. And we'll see how he goes through the field there. Speaking of going through the field, Dustin Reinsettle has found himself down to 3rd place, probably just settling in, just putting some laps down. Travis has gotten a pretty fast truck out there, and during practice time, the top 4 practice times were just neck and neck with each other, within thousandths of a second of each other. So Dustin's not going to have a cakewalk today, that's for sure. Riley Harris all the way towards the back of the field. Robert Lavery battling with him. So quite a drop for the young man who started 3rd place today. Or 4th place today, all the way back there with Robert Lavery. So let's do it. Let's go back through the field here and actually do a through the field. Leading us off here in the number 88 DEI inspired Chevy. Haha, that's not a Chevy, that's a Toyota Tundra. Is Jason Phillips, who is your pole sitter and been leading this entire race for the first 15 laps, going on 16 laps of the day. In second place, Travis Jones has moved up 5 spots from where he started the race, back in his RC car, well, RC car truck. Of course, it's a red, white, and blue scheme, so it works for the Patriotic scheme. Dustin Reinsettle, I'm sure, has some nice little graphics on his truck as he's chasing after these guys, getting closer in the putt view machine. Change camera angles just a little bit as he's battling with Travis Jones, taking that inside line through the dog legs and sticking it low here. Again, saving some tires allows him to battle and duke it out. He's going to be forcing Travis to use more of his tires. Meanwhile, Jason Phillips enjoying this so far because he hasn't really had to make that truck work too hard. Just keeping his own race here, so he's able to keep his tires pretty fresh. Dustin Reinsettle, one of the winningest truck drivers past couple seasons. He's sitting there in third in his Chevy, Puttview Chevy. Second season driving with Chevy. Before then, he was a Toyota driver. Oh, pan back to fourth place, about 2.5 seconds back. We'll find ourselves with Charles Smith in his red, white, and blue scheme. Driving the Ford Performance, Ford F-150. Highest placed Ford in the field so far. Eric Thaler, the godfather of Motorsports, he's sitting there in, well, he's sitting in 5th place right now. Dustin Reinsettle goes ahead and takes the lead away from Jason Phillips. They're still side by side. We'll pan right back over to him here as Dustin has cleared him, finally taking the lead. Currently leads the league in laps led in the Truck Series, but is not the Truck Series points leader. At least I'm pretty sure that's the case. I know in the Stock Car Series he is not leading the points. Oh, nope, I'm sorry. 6 wins, he is currently the leader of the Truck Series. Jason Phillips is in 2nd place. All right, well, after that pass there, moving on back to Michael Samia, who is repping the number 79 Voice machine, Voice of Midwest Motorsports, honoring my friend and yours, James J. Glad to see that scheme back out there, Michael, from us up here at the 7-Time Studio. As he makes a pass on Charles Smith. Smith hits the wall coming out of turn 2. Hoping the best for you, James, as you deal with the medical stuff going on. And back at 7th place, we have George Harris Jr. and his number 87 machine. U.S. Navy scheme. Eighth place finds James Leveson, driving the Air Force machine. Riding the high line there. James typically driving an Air Force scheme. This is not his normal one, but still repping the Air Force there today in the number 90 Chevrolet. The old folks home race is still on again, week in and week out. These two battle it out. And sitting in 9th place is Chris Thaler in the number 7 Craftsman Ford F-150. grandfather of Midwest Motorsports. And on the inside of him, still battling it out in the Ferris tractor machine, is Norm Snyder in the number 28. To continue to battle around for 9th. Further back here, a little gaggle of trucks battling for 11th place here with Tyler Short in the Cookie Monster 16 machine leading that group. Robert Olaveson in the Busch 22 Ford F-150. Grabbing that thing around there in 12th place. In 13th, we have the NVIDIA 23 of Marco Lavery, who's about to make a pass for 2. See if he can get around Robert, as something happened with Tyler Short there in the corner. He's dropped several spots. Ron Schaumer in the number 97 Sunoco Toyota Tundra. He's in 13th place. James Olaveson has come on into pit. Not sure exactly what's going on. Whoa, Robert Olaveson holding on to it there on the back straightaway. Well, looking a little nervous there for a caution that could have happened. And I'm not sure if Olaveson has a penalty. Nope, no penalty that I'm aware of, but he does have, probably has some damage. Tyler Short and Riley Harris are coming on into pit. Speaking of which, we'll pan on over to, whoa, Tyler having some issues getting onto pit road. No caution for anything just yet, but we are about the moment of pit cycle. Speaking of which, the leaders are now getting ready to come on in, but Riley Harrison is Navy Chevrolet, number 49. And I think, barring Robert Lavery here, he is the last car featured on our go through the field, the number 33. Everybody's in. James Olaveson is the only one, or leading with Riley Harris out on track. Ron Schaumer actually has the lead right now, so he's elected to stay out. Everybody else pit with 29 laps complete. Ron's going to come on in. Hopefully he doesn't speed through here, but he will get another lap in. Does he currently lead lap? Has he currently led a lap? He has currently led a lap. Oh, curious choice here. I think it's just, nope, he's, I'll have to look at the pit time. Nope, everybody for the most part took either 2 or fuel. I think it's just fuel here. As Dustin Reinsettle is off to a commanding lead. 5-second gap over Travis Jones in second place. So some pit cycle no-nos. Oh, and that's unfortunate. Just got some news as well that Jason Phillips, our pole sitter, ended up hitting a bump and causing himself to get a black flag off of pit road. So he is going to have to, I think, go back in. We'll see. But either way, he is currently listed as 1 lap down, just behind Dustin Reinsettle. Let's head back to a little bit more action in the field as Norm Snyder and Charles Smith are battling it out. Closest battle on the track right now. Kind of closest. One of the closest, I'll go with that. This is currently the battle for 7th place. James Leveson riding the high line here through turns 3 and 4 as they continue. And you see right back there, there's Chris Thaler and Ron Schaumer, and they're duking it out for this position right here of 10th place. I'm going to highlight this here before we go back, but Michael Samia in that number 79 machine, always a fast driver, always capable of being competitive week in and week out when he's out on the field. He is in 4th place. He's moved up 10 spots since the beginning of the race. Michael Samia is about another 2 seconds behind Travis Jones. Travis and Eric Thaler, though, within 0.6 of a second of each other. Eric Thaler passing by Travis as he's trying to make his way up to Dustin Reinsettle. So like I said earlier, we're going to go ahead and go back to this battle. James Leveson still riding the high line here. Norm Snyder, Charles Smith, and Marco Lavery have all caught up to James. Norm unable to get around him here, but they continue to battle. This is currently a battle for 6th place, a 4-way battle for 6th. Norm Snyder's got it handily here as he finally got around James. Now it's Charles' turn as he's on the inside here. Not able to get enough momentum there as James continues to ride that high line. It's dangerous, especially out here in turns 3 and 4, riding the high line. Excuse me. So got some cold stuff going on myself, or whatever's been going around here. And they're now side by side through turns 1 and 2. Ooh. Both of them get a little cautious here. James able to forge ahead. He gets a clear advantage as Charles backs off. Loses a spot to Marco. Marco's going to make the move here. Charles comes off the wall. Ron Schaumer's sticking with him, though. And they're still sticking with this battle here as now there goes Marco Lavery. He's going to get around James. I don't know if James doesn't have the grip to make it work on the inside, but here comes Charles. Charles Smith on the inside of James Leveson. So they're coming down the dog leg here. Oh no, not sure what happened to the number 90, but he slammed into that wall, rode onto it, and he's on the infield grass. Stay down, stay down, stay down. He's back on the surface, comes back down. No caution flag waved. I'm not sure if a pop-up came up on his screen or some kind of technical difficulty, but that was not at all what he wanted to see, what we wanted to see. But fortunately for everyone involved, nobody else got involved with him there. Good on you, James, to make sure you got down and you stayed out of everyone's way while you're dealing with what you were dealing with there. Tough night for him at Bristol, where he was just not able to do what he wanted to do there. I was hoping he had a better day for him, but looks like word is from the team here that he in fact lost monitor connection. That's scary when you're behind the wheel of these machines. Well, as we continue to watch everything unfold, Jason Phillips is looking to get around both Dustin Reinsettle and Robert Lavery. If he can get around Robert Lavery, Well, right now it looks like he's going to get around Dustin Reinselt, but either way, Jason's trying to get his lap back. And if Robert goes down a lap, Jason wants to pass Robert, because that'll mean if there is a caution, that he will be able to get the lucky dog, provided he's not in the caution. Well, Dustin's on the inside of Robert, so here's your shot, Jason. Continue to watch this little thing unfold here. Now again, it's not anything important for Dustin himself. He's just got to keep running his own race. The gap between him and Eric Thaler, on the meanwhile, has gone down, so Dustin actually does have to continue to forge ahead here, as he's continuing to have to battle with the 33 to lap him. In some aspects, it's nice to see these guys, you know, drive their own thing. They're not interfering with each other. It's not like Robert's blocking Dustin or cutting him off or doing anything to him to impede his progress. But at the same time, he's not just giving up, especially where there's a battle for position right behind him. So the leader's got to do what he needs to do to make this pass. And Eric Thaler's doing what he needs to do to make this pass. He gets right around Jason Phillips, and now he's going to be battling with Dustin Reinsettle as he's finally caught up. He was down 7 seconds. And now he's going to try to force a 3 wide. Is he? No, he's not. Not yet, anyway. He's going to do it down. No, it looks like he's trying. He's thinking about it. Dustin will continue to hold that lap there as Eric Thaler goes around the outside here of Robert Lavery. And Dustin Reinsettle, off he goes. And despite the fact that Dustin was unable to get around, Eric blew past him, blew the doors off Robert. Robert hits the wall there in front of Dustin, who's now going to go down. It's about 3 wide coming out of turn 3. Dustin backs off a little bit there. Jason is still a lap down, now battling with Robert Lavery for that position there. That is 13th place those two are battling for right now. And not just 13th place, but the last car or first car in the lead lap. Dustin Reinsettle is, I don't know what's going on here, if he's just putzing around, if he doesn't have enough grip on those tires to actually make it past these guys. One thing I didn't happen to mention beforehand is that Eric Thaler actually took tires that last stop. Dustin Reinsettle did not take tires. Oh, by the way, it's not take tires every stop, like I said earlier in the race. My apologies. They're racing for 200 laps and stop every 30 laps. So they can't do that. They are going to have to do some stints on these tires, which a lot of guys did do. Eric is going to do something different here. Excuse me. And we'll see if that works out for him. He's now out to a 2.7 second gap. He's going to have to try to make this as big as he can, because when these guys come back down pit lane in about the next 10 or so laps, he's going to have a nice cushion to deal with Dustin, who will probably be on fresh tires. Dustin finally... Is he finally going to get around Robert and Phillips? Both did not take tires either. Oh no! We've got ourselves a caution, folks. Caution is out. We're going to have a replay of that. I don't know exactly what happened there. You could almost say that Dustin was getting tired of dealing with Robert, battling with him so hard, but that's not really how Dustin operates. So we'll follow along here. New Year's scheme for the number 33. Oh, Does look like Dustin, for once, might not have held his line. Follow the chase angle here. Now, I don't usually like calling. I mean, we all know from my time that I sometimes want to argue about whose fault is whose here, but it does look like Dustin. Both of them, I'm going to say both of them weren't able to keep their line there. It does look like Dustin moved up a little bit. Probably thought he was still hitting straight, and Robert was coming down just a hair. I think we'll take one more look at this. Do cockpit view. Before we give up on this. Now pit stops are happening and everything. We'll get to the result of what happened. The battle for pit road, but you can see based on the dashed line, and again, Dustin, his wheel was straight, if not turned a little bit to the left there when contact was actually made. So I think he noticed what was going on, may not have exactly known where Robert was, but neither party was really focused on damaging the other here. As we go back to live, this is our first caution of the day. The caution clock is not in effect, or caution limit is not in effect. So there won't be any concern about 10 cautions here, as this track is a 1.5 miles. For those of you that don't know, the Midwest Motorsports have implemented a caution limit for tracks under a mile, where if we hit 10 cautions by that point in time, the race will end. If we are able to finish the race under 10 cautions, then we finish the race under 10 cautions. But Michael Samia stayed out during that pit cycle there, was able to lead a lap, now into pit. So the voice has led a lap. That one's for you, James. And maybe this whole race could be too. We'll find out. See how Michael Samia finishes this race. Still under caution here after 53 laps. We'll be starting back up here with it looks like lap 55. The lights are off in the pace truck. Eric Thaler has opted to go for the outside line for the restart. Dustin Reinsettle on the inside. Looks like I don't know if we got a wave around or not. I'm sure the eye in the sky will let me know. I thought we were going to get one, and I thought that was going to be Jason Phillips. He was leading the cars a lap down and was not directly involved in that incident. But at any rate, Eric Thaler is your control car as we get ready to get to the Echo Park restart zone. Green flag underway as off he goes. Eric Thaler jumps to the start here. Top four have gone single file with Eric Thaler off. Dustin Reinsettle and Travis Jones with George Harris Jr. Your top four, Norm Snyder in fifth, but hunting right there is Marco Lavery, who actually currently has the position. Dustin's trying to make his move now, and just a reminder for those folks, they did pit. Dustin took tires, and Eric went ahead and got fuel only because he did take tires during the last pit stop. This changes our pit cycle drastically. As everybody come around like lap 29 or so, and So most got fuel. Eric got tires, so we'll see what happens here with him. There's a truck ahead of Dustin Reinsettle. That's Michael Samia, who I think he wasn't able to get out fast enough. He's at risk of going a lap down. He is currently the last car on the lead lap as Dustin Reinsettle and Travis Jones battling it out. Travis Jones currently has the lead going into turn 1 and 2. Both these guys took tires during that last stop. George, no! George Harris sliding down the back stretch. Able to hold on to it. He got loose coming out of turns 3 and 4. I know this is kind of unorthodox here, but let's highlight some pretty good skill. I don't know if Norm got involved in this or not. It at least looked like he was close enough to, but George Harris, what a big save right there. He does still hit the wall on the inside, but goes the entire backstretch before having anything happen. And despite all that, nobody else got involved in this race, or involved in that incident, so no caution there. Let's head back to the front here. In fact, let's head back to Riley Harris. In front of him is Jason Phillips. Jason is still a lap down. He is the first car a lap down right now, as Travis has yet to actually catch up to Michael Samia. Wow, brain. It's been a long day, folks. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning. Going a little bit back here through the mire. Charles Smith competing with Chris Thaler, as it looks like now we've got that battle going on. Riley Harris, Norm Snyder, and now Ron Schaumer looking to pass by Eric Thaler. Wow, what a difference tires makes here. Eric dropping like a rock just to maintain those tires. His dad's on the inside. Now it's Charles Smith on the inside. Still side-by-side action in the mid-pack, or towards the back of the field. It's kind of a mid-pack area right now, actually. Tyler Short, he gets ahead. He is a lap down, however. Eric Thaler falls behind Robert Olevison, who, ooh, that was tight there, but is able to have the nose ahead as they get down the back stretch. There is so much dancing going on. This is the mid-pack right now. Ron Schaumer really in the mix here. Tyler Short, again, is a lap down, so it's not a battle for position with him, but he was duking it out with Chris Thaler with everybody ahead. Norm Snyder duking it out with Riley Harris. I said back of the pack, folks, and I really need to pay attention to where I am in the field, because Norm Snyder's 4th place right now. Everyone behind him battling for 4th. Charles Smith gets himself in the top 5. Riley Harris back there in 6th place. Tyler Short making his way up here. Now they're single file as we go through the corner. Let's check in on our leaders here. Travis Jones still not able to track down Michael Samia just yet. Jason Phillips 2 seconds back from him, so Jason's still the first car lap down, hoping for a caution so he can get back in contention, as long as he's not the reason for caution. So he's looking to get around Marco Lavery here. Marco, of course, trying to stick around with Dustin Reinsettle. Touching back on earlier on in the race, James Leveson has bowed out of the race tonight. It was still nice to see the number 90. Really stinks to hear he had that technical difficulty, and that's what took him out today. It was just not fun to have to watch him smash into the wall and go in the infield, but he was able to keep it down, which is good, even without that monitor there. Hopefully for you, James, you're able to get that fixed, because we'd love to have you out here more and be able to compete and be pretty consistent. You're really picking up some speed out here and making some differences for yourself. Marco Lavery now forced to the outside here as Jason Phillips is able to get on the inside. The times are starting to dip. Now remember, the fastest lap time of the race currently is 30.307, set by Travis Jones earlier in the first stint. He's currently sitting at 31.278 for a lap time. Jason's hoping to get around Dustin Reinsettle here with only one other car to pass to get his lap back. All right, well, let's head back to the... Oh, wow, I'm glad we headed back here. This is Chris Thaler, Riley Harris on the outside here. Be doing some camber... Oh, boy, caution's going to probably come out there. Just when I was about to change the camera angles, disaster happens. I bet these guys are wishing that I did not do that. But anyway, we're right along here with Chris Thaler, the grandfather of Midwest Motorsports. As they're coming out of turn 4, you see the number 49 machine of Riley Harris there on the outside. And he starts to come on down, so he's able to find some extra grip. And Chris got nowhere to go. Sends him sliding. He goes in the infield. Now, I'm sure Chris remembers this isn't the Roval. But you got to do what you got to do. And no other trucks involved in that incident there. One more camera angle there before we get back to the group during live, or get back into live action. Robert might actually got involved in that one. We'll have to see. We'll go back to... Nope, not Robert Lavery. Robert Leveson. Oh, well, I'm not sure what happened there, but we're going to go back to live. Second caution of the night here. There's a race recap. Current leader Travis Jones. There goes Jason getting his lap back. Put down 72 laps so far this race, 5 lead changes. Currently looking at 127 laps to go as Travis Jones wins the race off pit road. Norm Snyder's third off of pit road with Robert Lavery. Or no, sorry, not Robert, Marco Lavery. Dustin Reinsettle will come out 4th place. So Robert, Chris, getting involved in this, getting involved in the incident. Oh, that's a button. And we see the conditions there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, it's actually not Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm sorry, this is Concord, North Carolina. Or Concord. Forgive me, I'm a northerner. 70 degrees Fahrenheit, definitely something I wish was up here right now. Humidity 64. Lights are off on the pace truck. As once again we've got Travis Jones leading the way with Marco Lavery in 2nd, 3rd Norm Snyder, 4th Dustin Reinsettle, 5th Chris Thaler, Michael Samia is in 6th place, Charles Smith in 7th, George Harris Jr. in 8th, Ron Schamer 9th, and Eric Thaler back there in 10th. As green flag underway, control car was Travis Jones. Goes up the racetrack. We have a bit of a slowdown at the beginning of this restart. I don't know if that'll be under review, but somebody got caught spinning. Travis Jones like a rocket out on the way. Everybody came down pit road, lap 72. Dustin Reinsettle did take tires, so did Charles Smith. Eric Thaler took tires this time. Robert Leveson took tires. Ron Schamer also took tires. And we gotta, gotta click the button. Dustin Reinsettle has taken away 2nd place from Norm Snyder here. Norm's starting to fall back a little bit. He did not take tires during that last pit cycle. Charles Smith's going to make the move here. Chris Thaler getting pushed up the track. He'll lose a position. Eric Thaler on the inside of Norm Snyder's. He'll go ahead and take away 4th place. Norm back to 5th real fast. Jason Phillips is actually back on the lead lap hunt. So keep an eye out for him. We'll go ahead and get right on him here. Pole sitter. Hit by Ron Schamer, as we'll see what happens for him here. Chris Thaler way back there now. Tyler Short on his inside. More action up front here as Dustin Reinsettle now being fought by Eric Thaler. Charles Smith on the outside in that 29 Ford Performance F-150. Those two will get around him. Travis Jones has a 1.4 second lead right now. Charles Smith now going to battle with Eric Thaler for 2nd place. He's got it so far. Cleared him. Looked kind of tight, but you still had a few feet in there to make it work. Norm Snyder holding on to 5th place. Marco Lavery hoping to catch back up. Is that was Robert Leveson right there, also in the hunt. There's a bit of a gap between the 22 and the 79. The 88 is back there as well. So I did get a notice earlier. I believe we do have 2 trucks out so far. I think the number was given incorrectly. I'm not sure. We have 2 trucks, 1 lap down right now. Robert Lavery and James Leveson have retired from the race. Tyler Short is our first truck a lap down. And Riley Harris, the other truck, 1 lap down. And here's a smorgasbord behind Norm Snyder as Marco Lavery and Robert Leveson are battling it out right now. This is the battle for 6th place. Gonna be the battle for 5th place, actually, with Norm Snyder having the 22 on the inside there for just a brief moment. And here comes Robert. He's on the inside. He's made the move. He's got it. Slide job. I don't have that soundboard. But what a slide job there. He takes the spot. Robert Leveson has found himself in 5th place. James, if you're watching, your dad's doing some stuff out here. And you're not getting taken out for it. Great to have everybody here today. Seeing you guys out there. Definitely got some people rooting for Michael Samia. And there he is, right behind Marco Lavery. Currently sitting in 8th place. He's caught back up. See what he can do. Charles Smith is now your race leader. He has forged ahead. Eric Thaler getting around. I know we're going to miss out on a little bit, but I want to see how this happened, how this unfolded. Travis, something happened to him. It's a little unorthodox, so I apologize, folks. Right there, coming out of turn 4 a couple laps ago. Gets on the inside there. It does not look back. Now let's jump back to live action here. Charles has jumped to a 3/4 of a second lead. Robert Leveson gonna make a move here for 3rd place. He is charging up the field. He gets around Travis Jones. He's in 3rd place now. Go, Robert, go. He's got a little bit to go here as he catches up with Eric Thaler. Thaler now 9/10 of a second behind Charles Smith, who is just off he goes. Now, Eric's pretty good at this. Now, he caught up to me over at Dover. Doing exactly this. Robert goes through the dog legs, sliding a little bit. Pushing the issue here is he's going to slide up the racetrack. Slide job in front of Eric Thaler. He's got 2nd place. That number 22 machine is moving. How long will it last? Those tires are getting worn down pretty good. I believe we've seen guys take 2 sets of tires already of the 4 they have. So there's going to be some double stinting here for some guys. One more time before we get to the end of this race. Or 2 times. Math's going to come in at some point in time, but Charles Smith up to a 1.1 second lead. Guy behind him is on the hunt. I don't know what's going on here, what's been brewing in that tee or in that bush. Ford F-150, but he is flying and sailing right now. Further on back in the field, we got some more action here as this battle for 6th place is continuing to be heating up. Norm Snyder and Marco Lavery have been battling it out. Michael Samia, he wants to make it 3 wide. He's going to stay on the high side here, though, as he continues to battle with Marco. Norm is on the outside line as well. And he'll make the pass. Marco will file right behind him here, and now Michael's on the inside line. That's number 79 Chevrolet. Making some moves. Currently finds himself in 7th place. And Robert Olevison hitting the outside wall in turn 4. That's not going to be helpful. Eric Thaler has caught back up to him. He's going to make the pass around the outside. Robert still holding on there on the inside line. I think the tires are starting to wear on that 22 machine. He made quite a run. Now Charles Smith, a 1.5 second lead. But Eric knows how to whittle those leads down. Like I said, he did it to me at Dover. Was able to hold on to some tire tread there, and I was not. He was able to hunt me down. Well, let's get back to it because Norm and Michael Smith are almost side by side here. Michael, you get some fans out there watching as you're making this pass on the backstretch around Norm Snyder. 6th place. Dustin Reinsettle sitting in 5th place. 5.6 second gap separating him from the lead truck. Kind of uncharacteristic, I would think, of Dustin, but he's playing some games. He knows how to make his way around this track. He knows how to win, too, as we saw during the Stock Car Series. Norm Snyder and Marco Lavery back to it, battling side by side. And Marco's going to take the spot from Norm. Norm down to 8th place. Still your closest battle on the track. The next closest is George Harris and Ron Schaumer a little bit further back. You can just barely see them right there on the screen. There we go, we're going to follow along here with Norm in the 28 Ford F-150. As he goes down the back straightaway. See what it's like a little bit on how to drive these trucks here with some tire wear. Remember, these guys came into pit road on lap 72 and put tires on. Norm did not put tires on. He's driving on some old Goodyears. Pit cycle will be gearing up in the next several laps here as we're on lap 97, working our way to lap 98. Actually working on lap 97. So expect the pit cycle to begin the next 4 or 5 laps. Probably more 5, 6. Jason Phillips has now caught up to Norm Snyder, speaking of which. Jason Phillips was the pole sitter of this race. I believe that's navy camo, but I'm not quite sure the blue camo scheme. Robert Olivison is in the pits. As Jason now right on the inside. Ron Chalmers on his outside now. Chalmers going to go ahead and take 8th for just a moment here. Jason continues to battle on the inside. Suddenly can't talk. This is mostly a Navy style camo. Excuse me. Like I said, I've been awake since 3 o'clock this morning. So pardon the yawns. I promise I'm not bored. I don't know how you can be bored. There's a lot of action going around on this racetrack right now. Action happening right in front of my face half the time. A lot of vote for Charles. Currently our race leader right now. Charles Smith, the number 29 Ford Performance F-150, is currently leading the race by 1.7 seconds. Eric's starting to reel him in a little bit here. Dustin Reinsettle on into the pits. He was down by about 6 seconds. So that's moved Samia, one of the crowd favorites, up into 3rd place. Ladies and gentlemen, we are past the halfway point. We've been past it a couple laps, I apologize, but we're at lap 102, 103. Eric Thaler and Charles Smith have come down pit road. Michael Samia is going to try to join them. Ooh! Almost hit that barrel there. That wouldn't have been very good. Robert Levison's going to get his lap back. As he's out on the racing surface. Dustin Reinsettle will be ahead of him. Dustin took tires. Actually, Robert's ahead of Dustin right now. And out we go. Eric Thaler beats Charles out. I don't know if Charles took right sides or not, but a 10.55 second pit stop for him. Ooh, did Eric pass over the line? Did he go over the line coming out before the cone? I don't know, but that truck got a little squirrely there. Eric Thaler is your leader right now. Oh, no, he did. Oh, that is just not what you wanted to have as getting out there on the race lead. A mistake like that, that's going to cost him. So we've had 2 of our top drivers here have some issues in this race. I've set them back. Now, some of these setbacks aren't always as bad, but now that we're towards the later part of the race, a couple guys have already dropped out of the race. Cautions get a little bit harder to come by. Reinsettle is on fresher tires, just so you know. He is 1 second, less than a second, and charging. He has just knocked down 10th after 10th of a second. He's down from 1 second down to 3/10 of a second. He is charging. The speed discrepancy is huge. It is a whole 2 seconds. So Charles Smith comes out. He gets a lap led with what happened to Eric Thaler. And Dustin just blows right by him. Travis Jones waiting in the wings. He also took tires here. Chris is going to let Dustin Reinsettle go by as that number 11 Chevrolet cruising out there. Now, we're getting to the later part of the race, so Dustin is going to be trying to beat that fast lap time at some point during the race, or at some point here, probably after the last pit stop. If I had to be a betting man. Michael Samia actually has it right now at a 30.267. He just put down a 30.297 this past lap. He is on a charge. 4.5 seconds behind Dustin Reinsettle there in 4th place. Jason Phillips is right behind him too, so you can't really rest easy knowing the pole sitter's right behind you. Could whip out a fast lap at any point in time, could push the tempo. Chris Thaler doing a good job of keeping out of people's ways best he can. Michael Samia has gone ahead and passed Charles Smith for 3rd. And now Jason Phillips passes Charles Smith. They're side by side. Jason's cleared him down the back straightaway. Excuse me. Travis Jones is hunting down not Eric Thaler. Dustin Reinsettle here. We'll change the camera angle one more time. See if we can catch that number 11 in the screen. I don't know if we will. Oh, we did just then. The lead is now down to 1.1 seconds. Marco Lavery on the inside of Charles Smith here. This is the battle for 5th place as Marco just flies right by. Again, Charles did not take tires during that last pit cycle. Thought maybe he took right sides, he just took extra fuel. It looks like maybe had an incident there on pit lane where he might have missed his box, or may have just been a little bit over or a little bit under. 10.55 was his pit stop. Right behind him is Robert Olivison, who did not take tires himself. Of course, Robert pit on lap 99. So an interesting strategy being played by that number 22. See if it pans out for him. He had a pretty solid run there that last stint. Get himself all the way up to 2nd place. But now those really burnt out tires. Going to affect him here. Ron Schamer makes it around Robert Olivison, speaking of. And now that we've gone through there for another pass, Jason Phillips has caught up to Michael Samia. One of the fan favorites here. Ooh, Phillips getting a little loose there. Coming out of turn 4. Closest battle on the racing surface right now. 0.3 of a second separate these two trucks. It's another 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu. I mean, 2.7 seconds separating Samia from Jones. Travis Jones is now 0.6 of a second behind Dustin Reinsettle. So they are getting close to each other. That advantage of tires is starting to go away for a lot of these drivers as they're starting to even back out here. Two-tenths of a second separate these two. And there's the view from Samia's corner panel. I'm gonna hide the tower for just a moment here, just so you can get that full glimpse of the two trucks. Look like Phillips got a bit of a better run there through 3 and 4. Travis Jones now down to half a second. Eric Thaler hoping to stay on the lead lap here after the issue with pit road coming on out. And Dustin's on his inside. He's going to stay high. And Dustin gets around him and laps him. This stage of the race, 11 or 12 trucks, not 12, wow, can't talk, 10 trucks are on the lead lap still. Now, if you've been following us for a while now, you'll know, especially from the Stock Car Series, that Dustin can get quite a few guys behind him. He's been able to manage to lap the entire field before. He's got Travis Jones just continuing to pull him in. He's not going away. We've hit lap 120, 80 to go this 200 lap event. The voice of Midwest Motorsports, able to tune in and chime in. James, it's nice to see you here, man. Again, hope for a speedy recovery for you. The booth is not the same place without you, man. And I guess that's why I call it the 7-time studio. A little bit of James J here with me. Just thinking about that. Anyway, back to the action out here. This is one of the closest battle on the track. Let's be real here, folks. It has gotten below half a second. Now down to 0.4 of a second. We're going to keep an eye on this, but we'll also keep an eye on this battle here, which George Harris Jr. has caught up to Charles Smith. He's going to make this pass. This is the battle for 6th place. He makes it clear. Tyler Short right ahead of him. It's another 12 seconds before we get to Marco Lavery. So what does that exactly look like here? Well, here we are. That black dot just going into turn 1, that is Marco Lavery, 5th place. This highlighted dot right here, just going past the start finish line, that is George Harris Jr. That is the gap between 5th and 6th place. It's the entire backstretch with bits of corner involved. Crazy. So back to the front here as we get some lap traffic for Dustin Reitzel and Travis Jones as they get around Norm Snyder and Chris Thaler. Chris is 2 laps down. Norm is a lap down now. Norm Snyder, the first truck, a lap down as we complete 125 laps, 75 to go. And with that gap start increase again, I think now is the time we'll do our last pass through the field. So as we know, he's been leading for not all the laps today. He's been leading for a decent amount of laps. In fact, let's show you right here. 47 laps today, so not as many as he usually does in these events. Dustin Ryan still your current leader, points leader. 6-time race winner this season. Robert hits the wall right in front of him. He's able to get around on the inside. Excuse me. Travis Jones in second place, led 25 laps today. And Robert's going to dip on in down pit lane to get out of the way. Travis Jones has been one of the faster trucks today as far as fastest lap time. It has not quite translated into the staying power up front. He is, again, in the top 3, so there's that. Michael Samia put down the fastest lap time today. He's currently sitting in 3rd place after having some early woes in the midfield. Able to get himself up here. It's the Hard Charger Award. If I was able to give out an award for the race, if the race ended right now, he would currently have it, having gained 11 positions since the race began. Currently 3.1 seconds behind Dustin Reinsettle. Travis starting to fall back there as he's now down to 1.3 seconds. 9 trucks on the lead lap. Jason Phillips, speaking of the lead lap, finally got himself back on the lead lap from that last caution. He is less than 0.6 of a second behind Samia. In 4th place, your pole sitter. Led 21 laps today so far. Always a chance to lead some more. And rounding out your top 5, Marco Lavery has found himself in the 23 NVIDIA machine in 5th place. A whole 3.6 seconds separates him and Jason Phillips. And then, like we said earlier, with the giant gap of 12 seconds, 12.7 seconds, it's all that's all. That's what separates George Harris Jr. for 5th place. So he sits in 6th. Another 6 or so seconds behind, as we see Ron Schamer holding on to it in the dogleg. Charles Smith sits in 7th place. Dustin and Travis Jones have both come on down pit road, so Michael Samia assumes the race lead now. Ron Schamer, speaking of the number 97 Toyota Tundra, quietly having a good day. 7 spots gained since the start of the race. He is in 8th place. Norm Snyder sitting in 9th place right now, 1 lap down. First truck a lap down. Samia, Phillips, and Marco Lavery all coming on down pit lane. This is going to mess with my thing here. Eric Thaler's still out on the racetrack, so we'll go ahead and give him some time in the sun. Had an issue coming out of pits during the last cycle. They are not able to make it from here, so we still have 1 more pit stop. Hopefully Eric can have a clean pit stop here. Don't want any more issues for him. Running order getting a little messy here, but we'll go ahead and go down to Robert Olavison, who is in 11th place. Also I think about a lap, 2 laps down. He had a pretty strong performance during that last stint, by the way, getting all the way up to 2nd place. Tyler Short out here, about a lap or 2 down. Currently riding in 12th. And Riley Harris, the last truck. Actually, I'm sorry, not the last truck, but he is currently sitting in 13th place. Driving the Navy 49. a battleship scheme. Not sure which particular warship he's honoring there. But Chris Thaler, last truck, still out on the track at 14th place. Robert Lavery and James Lavison retiring, and that's positions that they'll find themselves in. 14 cars still out on the racetrack. 6 trucks have managed to stay on the lead lap here as we finished 135 laps. 65 to go. That was your race through the field, sponsored in part by Midwest-Motorsports.com. That's right, folks, Midwest-Motorsports.com. That is the racing league you're currently watching right now. And hopefully you're enjoying the content so far. It's been a pretty action-packed Charlotte Patriotic 300 here in the Truck Series. Several battles being fought for many laps. Hasn't really been a dry spell in this race, whether there be a caution that came out, just an interesting time, or just 4 to 6 cars battling out for one spot. Midwest-Motorsports.com, that's the website you can find us on. You can follow along for news and, more importantly, ways to sign up or join in on the action. If you're interested in our Oval Series or Road Series actions, you could certainly tag along and sign up, as sign-ups are always free, always open and available to anybody. Numbers are still available to be picked. I mean, you could challenge this number 11, along with many of the other drivers here out on the track. Going over our series as Travis Jones continues to put pressure on Dustin Ryansettle here. As you can tell, Friday nights we have the Truck Series, which we're going to be off this next week. Travis Jones makes the pass around Dustin Ryansettle. On the inside there. Everybody but George Harris took tires. I don't think there's anybody, there might be a handful of drivers with one set left. I don't think anybody else has them. They started the race with 4 sets of tires. But I could be wrong. We'll go back to Jason Phillips here, who's chasing Michael Smia once again for that 3rd place. Excuse me, let's pull up the schedule here. It'd be cool if I could put it up on the screen for you right now, but the Truck Series action tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Next week we have off, so do not expect a truck race on the 16th, but we'll be back on the 23rd of January, where the trucks will be racing at Phoenix Raceway out in the desert. Practice starts at 8:30. Racing starts at 9:55. We have a driver's meeting at 9:45 p.m. with qualifying at 9:50. That's our Truck Series. The other Oval Series currently going on right now is our Stock Car Series using the Xfinity cars. They just finished at Bristol Motor Speedway. On Sunday, you'll join me at 7 o'clock for practice. I won't actually be for 7, but 8:25 is when green flag drops, where you can join me and the rest of the Midwest crew that does the Stock Car Series at Iowa Speedway this week for 175 laps. After their Sunday night race, they will be off as well, so you can rejoin the action at Darlington Raceway on January 25th. Sounds like I could go snowmobiling next weekend and not miss out on any action. Exciting news, though, the Road Series, which typically drives... Whoa, Chris, you're not doing the Roval right now. The Road Series... Oh, Jason Phillips making the moves right now. Boy, they don't make it easy to talk about two things at once, as they are side by side, as I'm sure they have been for the past, lap or two. Jason unable to complete the pass. Tyler Short's not going to be on their outside here through turn 3 and 4 as they get around him. Ron Schommer, George Harris, they're battling for position right ahead of these guys. Side by side as Ron Schommer gets away. George Harris up into the wall there. He's in 8th place. Jason Phillips still battling with Michael Smia for 3rd. Travis Jones has the lead. Well, I missed that. Eagle Eye audience members there have probably noticed that change on the leaderboard. Went, hey, what happened? But anyway, back to, I think we'll go back to Jason Phillips and Michael Smia now, as this is the closest battle on track. I will make sure to keep an eye on the relative as well, so that we don't miss another pass for the lead, because Dustin's not going away. He's half a second behind Travis Jones. But exciting news is the Road Series is getting closer and closer to the start of Season 11. We have a car picked out. Currently the admin team is picking out the schedule, getting it ready, getting it all nice and tidy, so we can get some practice going, recruitment for that. Again, we're going to be racing the Porsche Cup, the 992.2, I believe it is. I'm going to have to download that car, because I would like to drive in that series this season. I've been kind of inconsistent on the road side there, as Tuesdays are a bit of a hard day to always have available, but now it's kind of opened up. So if you'd like to challenge Johan de Roy, hang out with Adam Sondag, or compete against some of our other admin drivers that participate in the Road Series, or the plethora of Road Series drivers we have doing the P Cup this coming season, you're welcome to join. We're hoping to have races starting sometime this month, if not beginning of February. Stay tuned for more on those details, as we'll have them. And the last thing to talk about before we wrap up with this little segment here, as the battle for the lead is heating up again, is Monday nights. At some point, we have a podcast that's hosted by Ant Caster. Drives the number 8 Chevrolet in the Stock Car Series. And usually we go over things that have been happening in the motorsports world, as well as stuff that's happening in the league, and other more exciting information, news drops like, hey, the Road Series is going to be starting soon. Dustin Ryan settles side by side with Travis Jones here, going through turns 1 and 2 as they're on the backstretch, still side by side. Travis getting the momentum from the outside line. They're hugging close. Travis trying to hug down. Now he's coming down, trying to force Dustin from going all the way up. Dustin's got the spot through the dog leg. Momentum was not going to help him there. Travis Jones, Charles Smith, right there. He's the first car a lap down. He's going to make a pass around Travis Jones. Going to force himself in between. Dustin's off. Going to try to set sail here, that number 11 machine. Yeah, he's probably going to do a good job of it right now. Excuse me. Lap 152 in the books, folks. Lap 153 is what we're working on right now. 47 laps to go. A reminder, again, these guys do have to pit one more time, as they all pit on lap 131. Nobody can make it from here, unless you're Ant Caster, who can make miracles happen with the fuel. But anyway, back to that real quick. So the broadcast, or the podcast, the cool down lap, been on a hiatus for a little bit, but it would normally happen Monday nights at 8. We have updates for you, let you know if and when that series starts back up again. Aunt Castor enjoying the early stages of fatherhood with sleep cycles and all that. So, he's trying to do the best he can as a father, and I applaud that. Good on you. That's something I struggle with my my journey into fatherhood myself. My poor wife. Charles Smith still hunting down Dustin, hoping to get his lap back. So now the closest battle once again, Jason Phillips and Michael Samia. Yeah, they're still within 5 seconds of the race leaders, as Travis Jones starting to lose ground on Dustin. My ticker's having some issues, so again, on my ticker it shows, and it looks like it's showing up on your screen too, folks. Sorry about that, but 5 trucks remain on the lead lap. 6th place is 1 lap down, although he's currently trying to fight to get his lap back. Ron Chalmer is the next truck a lap down, then it's Norm Snyder. In 8th, Robert Olevison in 9th, and Eric Thaler in 10th place, the first truck, multiple laps down. 157 laps now in the books. And Dustin Reinsettle has set sail. Travis Jones having some issues there through the corners, keeping up. I don't know if he's trying to clutch to see if he can make it last a little bit extra, or if he's trying to save tires. I'm not sure what his strategy is right now. That magic number right now is lap 170 for when you try to go down pit road. Now that's going to be real tricky here because of the fact that they pit on lap 131. We may even need to have them come back down one more time. We'll see what the fuel saving strategy is, and of course these guys are starting to clutch. At least the guys in the know are starting to do it. Or at least thinking about it here. Ride along with Travis Jones and see what he sees. Oh, downshift. Travis is coming in. Dustin Reinsettle also coming in. Ooh, that's pretty tight. Hopefully Travis made it under the speed limit. I believe it's 50 miles an hour, no, 45 miles an hour in Charlotte, I believe. Well, he's got tires. Dustin's out. Dustin is out. He had tires. They pit 160. 40 laps. They've got to last 40 laps. There's going to be some clutching involved. Jason Phillips, Michael Samia. Oh, I was pretty close. I'm being reminded from the tech team that it's 45 mile an hour pit speed. Charles Smith now leads the race. Once again, number 29 still out there. Robert Olevison into the wall. on the back straightaway. See how long Charles can make this truck last, because again, the magic number would be 170 to not have to stop again. He's in. Dustin Reinsettle will take the lead back. Thank you very much. Ron Schamer staying out there. He's in second place. Got a little bit extra Sunoco in there. I expect right now for Dustin Reinsettle to be actually fuel saving, which normally right now he'd be trying to beat the fastest lap time. That'd be his goal. Ron Schamer in. Can he make it down to 45? Might have done it there. So Dustin Reinsettle, 5.4 seconds back as Travis Jones. Michael Samia in third again. Side by side with Eric Thaler. Six trucks currently on the lead lap. Now 5 again. Marco Lavery is the last truck on the lead lap. Eric Thaler resumes being the first truck 1 lap down. "36 laps, going on 35 to go. So the question at this point is, is the winning strategy to try and clutch your way around the track, saving as much fuel as you can to stretch it out just enough, or is it to pit as soon as you get to 30 to go? Had some cautions that messed with the pit cycles. Marco Lavery, who's currently in 5th place, has gone into the pits 8 times this race. Everybody else has pretty much gone in about 6. George Harris, the only other one who's gone more than 6 pit stops. Eric Thaler has yet to pit again, though. He pit on lap 142. So he'll be at that magic number. Unfortunately, unless we have a caution, he will remain a lap down past, I'm guessing, the final pit cycle. I thought we only needed 1 more. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Unless these guys are doing really well with clutching, which seems like what Dustin's doing right now. Travis Jones has caught right up to him, though. Being 7 seconds down, he has now taken the lead. Travis Jones in the number 96 Toyota Tundra has taken the lead away. What do we make of this? And what does Dustin do about it? Well, he's now just falling further and further behind. I'm sure that it has a lot to do with his fuel saving strategy here, trying to get as much out of the truck as he can. I almost wonder if it would have been smart, or if it would have been a smart idea during that last pit stop, knowing you've still got to make 1 more potential stop, of just putting a splash in there, enough to get you to, I don't know, 28 to go, and then filling it up. Maybe halves it. Maybe only put half the fuel you need in there. I don't know. But Eric Thaler and Ron Schamer are in a big battle here. Ahead of them, Michael Smia, who's in 3rd, with Riley Harris back in 11th. Ron Schamer has flown right by him. There he is in 7th place. Is he going to make it 3 wide here? Nope, not yet. He's going to stay on the high side here. Go through that dog leg. Everyone getting nervous about hitting the wall there on the first dog leg. He'll get around Samia. Samia's not really forcing the issue here. Maybe he's content with getting 3rd. I promise I'm not bored, folks. It's just I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. I, like many of these guys, will be running on empty. It's not an excuse, it's just... That's why I'm yawning. Lack of oxygen to the brain. The lead has now extended to 4.9. 27 laps to go. I'm curious to see what Dustin's up to. So ride along in the cockpit here. Several trucks have gone in to pit with 27 to go. And Dustin's going to join them. Get it down, get it down. He is in. Travis Jones ain't gonna make it. Ain't gonna be able to make it either. But he has a whole lap advantage. He's gonna stay out. Dustin is still pitting in the box. He had tires. Well, it's hard to keep track of these things when you got so many guys out there. So many other things going on. But Dustin Reinsettle puts tires on it. Jason Phillips, the only other truck out on the track right now that is on the lead lap. A whole 19 seconds behind Travis Jones. And Travis has got to be thinking about pitting now. The longer he puts this off, the closer Dustin will get to him. And the less of an advantage he'll have in the ability to actually head Dustin off at the pass. He's not going to be able to make it, because that's 40 laps. And he has not been clutching this entire time. He's full sending it right now. I mean, I'm not a whiz at strategy, clearly. I almost lucked myself for a win. But I really think the play right now was Travis pitting as soon as Dustin had pit. As soon as he realized Dustin had pit, he should have pit. And maybe he should have pit the lap after, and he's still going. Dustin has fresher tires on his truck. And I guess at this point, he's going to have to try to push it as far as he can, put some fuel and splash and dash and hope that that's enough. But you've got somebody with fresher tires charging who's going to unlap himself here pretty soon. Now let's show you the track map right now. Now, veterans of the channel, when you've seen this map, will know the green dot is Dustin Reinsettle. I'll prove it to you right now. There he is. That's Dustin Reinsettle. Travis Jones is one of the red dots. This red dot that's currently highlighted on your screen. Now, he has a better gap than I was giving him credit for, but he still has to pit. And once he pits, he's going to have to only take fuel at that point in the game for Dustin not to get that much closer to him. If Jones had been clutching Since pitting, he may have saved up enough fuel, but we know he has not. So we'll see again how this goes now that green dot. It's gotten closer to Ron Schamer, who's in 4th place. Dustin passes by Ron Schamer. Charles Smith is back up in the top section. Now it looks like Ron's going to come on into pit. Jason Phillips still needs to pit, most likely. Charles Smith needs to pit, most likely. Neither of them have been... None of these guys, as far as I can tell, have been clutching through this. And clutching is more of a way of fuel saving. If you engage your clutch, ride the clutch through the corner, and let off the throttle, you burn less fuel and can fuel save. So let's head back to Travis Jones here, who's ahead of Norm Snyder. Again, 2 trucks on the lead lap. Jason Phillips is slowly gaining, but he still would have to pit as well. Of course, as you see on the ticker right there, Jason Phillips, 18.6 seconds. It's going to take a long time for that to whittle down, and depending on what happens in the pits, could make or break this. Travis is coming in. You cannot mess up this pit stop. Charles Smith is going to come on into pit. Dustin Reinstedel has got his lap back. There he goes. Like I said, he's that green dot. He's coming out of turn 2 right now. Travis is in the pit box. There's 16 laps to go. Travis is back out. Again, Dustin is on much fresher tires. You do have to do something, and that's something James... Oh, no! I think that just sealed it right there. You cannot cross over the white and blue line above the apron before the blue cone. That is a penalty if you do. And unless he's going to ride it out here, Travis Jones might not have gotten the penalty. I'm not sure. It caught Eric Thaler earlier. But it really looked like that tire went over the line. Dustin Reinsettle, under 2 seconds. The distance. Like you see the green dot right there. He's in camera shot now. And he has just slammed home. That was a whole second. 31.872 was the lap time for Travis. Dustin Reinsettle put down a 30.925. Excuse me. Now they're under a second. 2 laps, and Dustin's already under a second after being down by 2 seconds just a moment ago. 0.6. Half a second. We've got 13 laps to go, folks. This is like Dover. $12 to go. Dustin going on the high side. Travis, is he able to? He does crossover. Travis thought about going down. Now Dustin's on the inside. Dustin Reinstedel. makes the pass. He's setting sail. I know what James would say at a time like this, you can't take the hats to victory lane just yet. But boy, oh boy, is that kind of painful. Eric Thaler battling with Charles Smith. Again, Eric was the first car lap down. That still is the first car one lap down, or truck one lap down. It's Eric Thaler, Charles Smith, and Norm Snyder all on the same lap of each other. Then you have Tyler Short, George Harris, Ron Schaumer, and Robert Olevison on the same lap. Nine to go, folks. Now 8 to go. Dustin Reinsettle waiting in the wings for win number 7 on the season. 7 for 8 in the Truck Series. If he makes it to victory lane. I know, James, the hats aren't going just yet. They've been printed, but they're not going just yet. Dustin gets around Chris Thaler here. Bring back up that race recap here with the 7 to go as the trucks go down the back straightaway. Only 2 cautions today for 6 laps. Dustin Reinsettle, the current race leader, as he's been the one leading good majority of the race. We've had quite a few different lead changes, different leaders coming on in, and actually several trucks able to hold on to the lead for more than just a lap for pit cycles. Jason Phillips had the pole to start the race. He is currently in 4th place. 6 seconds back of Michael Smia. Speaking of laps led, Dustin Reinsettle leading 80 laps today. So far, that adds to his 539 that he's led through the season. Coming into this race, Dustin Reinsettle was leading the points with 342, a whole 30 points over Jason Phillips. In second, Robert Lavery drives the number 33, was third with 303. Marco Lavery was 4th with 301, and myself, Michael Harris Jr., was 5th, 292 points. George Harris Jr., well, he was 6th, 264 points. Travis Jones in 7th, 252. Ron Schaumer in 8th with 249. Then we had Norm Snyder, 9th with 244, and Eric Thaler in 10th. Do not ask me where our lovely race control is in the Truck Series points, because he has not driven a Truck Series race. He did drive a Stock Car Series race, and you can too on Sunday nights. Three to go, 2 to go now. Dustin out to a 4.37 second lead. Again, signups for Midwest Motorsports are always free, always open. As the white flag drops, Dustin Reinstuttle continuing his dominance here in the Truck Series. Just able to be consistent, and that's been the key. The what could have beens, what should have beens. And here he comes for the final time tonight. Dustin Reinstuttle, your winner here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Patriotic 300. Win number 7 for the young man from Pikeville, Kentucky. He'll add on to his top 5 and top 10 categories. That's the wrong button. That's also the wrong button. This is the right button. Well, folks, Dustin Reinstuttle with the win. Wins his 7th on the year. Number 11, Buttview Chevrolet. Travis Jones brings it home in 2nd place, the number 96 Toyota Tundra. Michael Samia brings it home in 3rd place with his The Voice James J scheme. Good on you, Michael. 3rd place for him, the 79. Jason Phillips finishes 4th after starting on pole. Marco Lavery, 5th place. Eric Thaler in 6th. Charles Smith in 7th place. And we have Norm Snyder in 8th. 9th, Tyler Short. Riley Harris, 10th. 11th is Ron Schaumer. Robert Levison will be 12th. 13th, George Harris Jr. 14th, Chris Thaler. 15th, Robert Lavery. And 16th is James Levison. It's an exciting race here tonight. A lot of different things happening. A boat ton of action tonight. And we have up in the booth a couple of our guys here. Their finishing order. We'll start off with Michael Samia. And we'll see, Michael, we got a copy.
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right. Well, exciting race here. It was wonderful to see the voice back on the truck in the number 79 machine. And we love that you honor James every time you whip that scheme out. You have a good run, good finish. Walk us through your race, and you had an amazing start there, getting yourself up 11 places.
First off, man, I want to give a shout out to James. You know, he's out there and having some procedures going on. I'm gonna shout him out. Hope he's well. But yeah, started in the back and drove it up through there, man. I was trying to take it easy, but I just made it through there pretty good, and uh, it was being a it was a fun race altogether.
Absolutely. You had quite a bit going on with Jason Phillips there towards the end. Do you think he was going to get around you or had anything for you there?
Not at the end. I had new tires. I don't think he did. Uh, I think really what killed my race was a black flag. So, but I'll take a top three. It was a good race. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, Michael, and we'll see you at the next race. Not this weekend, but next weekend, or next Friday, the following Friday at Phoenix.
Yes, sir. I'll try to make it.
All right, that was our 3rd place finish there, Michael Samia. And we've got 2nd place, Travis Jones. Travis, we got a copy. All right, how about that, Travis? We got you?
Can you hear me now?
We got you. I can
All
hear
right.
you. Well, Travis, that was an exciting race for everybody out there. I know you had some speed there, getting your truck around the track with the second fastest lap time. Michael Smia beat you out there. Um, kind of walk us through towards the end there. You stayed out for a couple laps after Dustin Reinsel came in for the final pit stop. What was going on in your mind through that?
Yeah, I think the last pit stop, we came in and, ran out of fuel about the same time, and we picked a different strat towards the end. He ended up, just getting fuel. I went ahead and got tires, knowing I had to stop again, and, I was just gonna see what happened, try something different, and, yeah, it didn't quite work out. All my tires were gone, about 8, 10 laps to go, so but it was a fun race, racing with everybody, close racing. Everybody's running different pit strategies, so yeah, it was a lot going on.
Absolutely. It was entertaining up here in the booth seeing so many different drivers up in the top three and the top five. I didn't really know who was going to be up there until the last pit cycle for sure. It was you were doing pretty well there, and like I said, that final pit cycle there was it 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 was it was one to watch, and just Dustin blew right by you there with those new tires, and we're just hoping to see some stuff there. Is there anything you're looking forward to coming with Phoenix, or anything that else that you wanted to bring up from today? Anybody you wanted to bring up?
No, it was just a good time racing with everyone again. Y'all put on a great show, and yeah, hope to catch y'all at the next Phoenix. And good job on Dustin. One day we'll try to catch him.
The man to beat for sure. All right, well, thank you for joining us, Travis. And we'll move on to our race winner, Dustin Reinsel. Dustin, you got a copy. Click the buttons
Sure
here.
do. What's up?
There we go. All right, Dustin, you going ahead and getting yourself your seventh win of the race season. Um, Definitely up and down race for you here. I mean, you did lead the most laps, but you were not the only truck that had speed today. Kind of walk us through your race, what you saw, and who you thought was going to be your biggest challenge, and yeah, we'll go with
Uh,
that.
First, I just want to give a shout out to Robert. Definitely did not intend to get into him there going into turn three. I think he had been running that high lane and running kind of middle to top, so I was just going to try to enter in a little higher to not get pinched down, and we just kind of met. I was drifting up to go higher, and he was coming in to go lower to run that middle line. So I'll take that one. That's on me. He was running hard to keep his lucky dog spot, so I'll own up on that one. That one was on me. So shout out to him. Sorry about that. Hate that it wrecked him, but probably a little too early for all that stuff. But yeah, a lot of people had speed tonight. I don't know what happened to Mike on his qualifying lap, but he kind of started like in 10th, I think. So definitely took me off guard because I thought he was going to lay down the pole. And then Phillips is starting to get really good on qualifying laps and hot laps and those short runs. But fortunately, I don't know. I just these mile and a halves in the truck really fit my braking style. I think I've probably said that a million times, but just the ability to not really like punch the brake, but just kind of trail brake a little bit. Terrible at flat tracks, but it works good at mile and a half on long runs and these things. So had the better long run car, I felt. So on that last stop, I just tried to. My goal, honestly, I think it would have been even closer if he would have went on the same strategy as me. But I was just trying to pick whatever strategy would potentially put him on older tires longer than me, and it's ended up what ended up happening. So I knew I was just a little bit better than him when we got to like lap 25 in a run, even though there was only 30 laps. Those last 4 laps were kind of a big drop off difference. So that was the goal.
Absolutely. Yeah, you could definitely see that there. A lot of the guys were putting some speed down, and it just was hampering him towards the end of the run. I saw that with Robert Lavison, who was pushing really hard, got himself all the way up to second, which is pretty cool. But then fell off there, and you could definitely notice the tire difference when guys didn't take tires and were up in the front and just immediately got swamped. But
Yes, sir. There was quite a bit of different strategies, and then there was a caution. Whatever that last caution was kind of threw a little bit into it. But yeah, I had damage after that. It was only like 30 seconds, but it's really hard to make up any time on green flag stops if you got to fix some damage. So I was battling that, and then ended up getting that fixed. I think the second to last stop, because I've already learned my lesson about just wasting the fast repair at Dover. So
yeah, well, only 2 cautions tonight, so at any rate, relatively clean race here. And anything else that you wanted to add with Phoenix on the horizon? We got that little week stretch.
I call Phoenix the house that Eric built. Eric is good at all flat tracks that are short track style. So just like he was at Milwaukee, he will be hard to beat. So Eric's got that place down pat. Funny Phoenix story, just real quick. The
Yeah.
very first season I ever raced in Midwest, I had a tire advantage on Eric, and it was like the second race of the season. Probably, I think it was my second league race because this was the first league I was ever in, and I got so excited I just powered down out of turn 4, coming to the start finish line, and just self spun right in front of everybody right at the start finish line, and then nobody hit me miraculously. So it was definitely a you're an idiot moment.
You're hearing that from the 7-time race winner this season. So if you're concerned about your own driving style right there, you know that you too could end up being a league dominating force.
Shoot.
But
I
all right.
appreciate everything you do, Mike, and just like what Tamia said, I hate that James is going through what he's going through. Shout out to him. Hope he's feeling better and can get back to us.
Me too. We miss him up here in the booth, and thank you for joining us, Dustin. We'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you.
All right. Nope, I'm staying up here in the booth for a couple more minutes. But anyway, guys, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching Midwest Motorsports Truck Series action. Dustin Ryan said he'll take in the win here again. Truck Series will be back. Not this coming week, but the following week on the 23rd. So if you're looking to do the Roar and the iRacing 24-hour race, you will have the availability to do so. We still have the race Sunday night here at 8:25 Eastern Standard Time for the Stock Car Series. But for all of us here at Midwest Motorsports, including James J., I'm going to go ahead and say that line. Stay in your lane.